Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing well. Before I talk about my workout today, I want to talk about the Naomi Osaka video that I made probably a couple weeks ago now. I forget exactly when, probably 2 weeks or so. But it's doing really well as far as views. I know it's got over 1,000 views. I don't know how much it exactly has, but I'm starting to get some feedback on it, which is nice. It's weird. Sometimes I'll get a video that will get a couple hundred views because it's some sort of trending topic, but then nobody will leave any comments on it. But it's kind of nice to have some people leaving some comments and generally agreeing with what I was talking about. I know I got some criticism. I think I said the dude was Hispanic, the judge or whatever, which honestly I just don't know enough about the. That was just a me speaking off the cuff for that sort of thing. But also someone was commented about how I should have learned more about the terminology related to the sport, and honestly I don't disagree with that. It would have been more helpful in a video, but with most of my content I get like 10 views at the most, so I'm not particularly worried about being fact checked too much. So it's usually pretty shocking to get a video that does that well. If I had lots of videos that were, getting thousands and thousands of views, then I'd be more worried about, having everything down. But, at the end of the day, it wasn't the focus of the video, the terminology. It just would have made it flow a bit better, but it was more of a rant about the behavior and stuff, and not so much about the specifics of the stuff that went on, just the generalities of what happened. But anyway, just wanted to mention that before I talk about today's workout. So with today's workout, I had power snatches, high hang or mid thigh hang power snatches up to 190, and then I had power cleans from the blocks, clean pulls, and back squats. So the snatches stuff went extremely well. I didn't have any misses. The only thing that was a negative, oh, please don't park in front of me. God darn it. But dang, I lost my pull through. Should have left while I had the opportunity. But whatchamacallit, sorry, I got totally distracted by the car that just pulled in front of me. The power snatches, the hang power snatches went really well. Didn't have any misses. The last rep with 175 and with 190 were kind of ugly, but my reps went really well besides those, and I was extending really well, or at least I felt like I was extending well, and I think that was what was making my reps go well. And they didn't feel as heavy as they did last time. So I think the last time I failed my last rep with 190, I don't think I was heavier than that, but they just felt manageable, which was nice, because before they felt quite heavy with that. I don't think I had quite as much volume. I think the last time I had 2 sets with 175 when I had to do that, so it definitely was a little bit extra fatigue at the end of the day with that. But after that, like I mentioned, I had the power cleans from the blocks. I had to go up to 250, which were very difficult. The 235, they were pushing me down pretty close to not being powers. For me, I consider powers when I don't bounce out of the bottom. If I can control it at any point where basically my hamstrings aren't on my calves, even if I'm slightly below parallel or at parallel, I'll still consider it a power, because it takes a lot of effort for me to not crash down once I get to that parallel point. But I think I recorded from the front, so you should be able to see whether I did a power or not pretty easily. I don't think there was anywhere I was, below parallel where I stopped the weight, but I struggled with 250, and this is where it's kind of weird on the program, because I did 3 cleans. The second one I was able to do a power clean. On the first and the third one, I had to drop all the way down, and for sure I had to drop all the way down because I felt it. So I consider those misses. So as I entered it in, I counted I only did 1 out of 3, even though I did 3 cleans, because they were saying to do power cleans. I'm gonna guess that is correct, because they kind of want to gauge what you can do with powers, but I'll kind of treat it like that, because I mean, honestly, they were very difficult anyway, and that was the first time I've ever done cleans from the blocks, and those were high clean pulls or cleans from above the knee. They were pretty close to above the hip as well. Closer to my groin than to my knee. But those went relatively well for never doing them before, and I was happy I was able to do one of the powers with 250, even though I wasn't able to do the other 2. I was happy I didn't have any misses in general, as far as not missing any weights off my body, even though I had to squat a couple of them all the way down to heavy sets. The clean pulls were up to 300 pounds today, so that was nice to be able to work with some heavier weights, and then the squats were up to 375 again for another set of 3. They were kind of difficult, but they weren't unmanageable to do, so I had to worry about that. No, I was going to do abs. Now that I think about it, I forgot to do them. I stretched a little bit instead. I'm actually going to do some abs tonight when I get home, because I do want to do some stabilization ab work, because I'm actually not too tired today, which is really weird. But overall, really good workout. There isn't too much to talk about outside of lifting. As far as school stuff, it's a pretty ordinary day. As far as the stuff that went on, the progression that I'm thinking for my classes is going well. I just have to get the instructional parts within them better, but I like the idea of the different kinds of focus each day with that. But anywho, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I'll talk to you all in the next video, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace.